Alright guys, we are back with another video today. Today I'm trying to do a little bit different than the usual. Not racing, but talking to you about how I first started to watch F1 and why I watch F1 and why I love it so much. So yeah, the first time I started watching was 2005, and yes, I was very young. I was like 8 years old, something like that. And I started watching because of my cousin. He was into it, and he was a McLaren fan back then. And Kimi and Montoya were McLaren's driver back then, and he was a Kimi fan. And that's how I got into Kimi as well. He introduced me to it, and I started liking it. The very first race I remember was a very unfortunate race for Kimi. It was the European Grand Prix in Nürburgring 2005, where he suffered a suspension failure due to heavy tire degradation, or it was a flat spot, I'm not sure, but yeah, he had a suspension failure on the last lap. He was leading, Alonso was second on the last lap. On the first corner, the suspension just failed, and he was into the wall. That was the end of the race. But that was, I think, the very first race I remember, and that was really exciting. So then I started watching regularly. Another race I remember was the United States Grand Prix, the strangest race ever, where the Michelin tires were banned. All the cars that were using Michelin were banned. Only the Bridgestones were allowed to race. So only six cars raced, and Michael easily won the race. Yeah, and then that was it for that season, I guess. I mean, Kimi lost to Alonso for like 4 points. It was unfortunate. The McLaren was very fast, but very unreliable. Engine failures every now and then. So yeah, 2006, I don't remember much. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure that I watched it, but 2005 was more exciting. 2006, not too good, nothing too special with McLaren that Kimi drove. Then he moved to Ferrari in 2007, which I remember really, I remember it like it was yesterday. He won the opening race in Australia, and I remember, of course, I remember the last race in Brazil where he claimed one of the best races I ever watched, actually, to be honest, because he was third in the driver standing behind Alonso and Hamilton, and he beat Alonso and Hamilton by 1 point in Brazil in the last race. Yeah, that's really crazy the way it happened. But yeah, and what else? Why I watch F1 is just because I don't know. F1 is so great. It has the world's biggest and best car manufacturer like Ferrari, Mercedes, Renault, and they just hire the world's best racing drivers and engineers to do one thing: go around the track as fast as they possibly can. If you compare F1 to something like NASCAR, where they just go around an oval track in slower cars, then it's really obvious why it's so much more exciting. In F1, we have chicanes, corners and stuff, and they go up to 200 miles per hour, and it's like the skill of driving is amazing to see, and their reactions, especially on wet tracks, is incredible. They just one tiny twitch in the wrong place and their car could be upside down. It's just brilliant. And then I watched all 3 seasons that Kimi was with Ferrari. 2007, of course, the greatest season. He won the championship, as I said. Then 2008, nothing too great for Kimi or Ferrari. It was very exciting till the last race, where Felipe Massa won the championship for like 15 seconds, until Lewis overtook Timo Glock in the last corner because he went wide. There was a lot of talking about that saying that Timo let him on purpose. He went wide on purpose, but I don't really know what to say. I wasn't a fan of Lewis, so it was a shame that Massa didn't win that one. But yeah, and then 2009, Braun GP, Jensen, they dominated so easily, Jensen and Rubens, but Jensen claimed the title. I think he deserved that one, actually. Then I watched 2010 as well, which was very tight between Vettel and Alonso, but I took a break on 2011 because Kimi left 2009. He left F1, yes. He was doing rally and for a while NASCAR, so I was trying to follow him doing that, so that's why I stopped watching F1. It was a bad decision. I don't know why I did that. Way too young. But 2010 was a very good season as well. But 2011, the season that I didn't watch, I don't think I missed much because Vettel just easily killed anyone. Everyone. He won every race. Not every, but he was like, he at the end he won the championship by like 120 points. Jensen was second with the McLaren, so it's pretty crazy. And then 2012 was a great season for me. To be honest, one of the best seasons out there. It was one of the best seasons because Kimi got back from rallying. He got back to drive with Lotus. It was really great. I was really hyped. I got back to F1, so I wanted to watch him more than ever. And he was really great. Just showing his pure class and how fast he is with a Lotus, the car that really he liked the way the car handled, but it was lacking a little bit on power, so he was not as fast as the Ferrari or the Red Bull. But he finished that year on third on the overall standings, winning in Abu Dhabi, which was one of the greatest race for me as well. It was just crazy. And Vettel, I remember he started on the pit lane, he finished third, but yeah, the race in Brazil that year has to be the craziest one that I ever remember, just because Vettel he spun and he was last in the first lap, but it was wet and it was very crazy, and he got back up to 6th. Alonso finished second, but yeah, Vettel won the championship by 3 points. So it was very crazy. And then 2013 wasn't anything great. Vettel again dominated the season, so he beat Alonso again. Very sad for Alonso, but I never liked him, so not that I cared for him. But yeah, he beat everyone so easily as well. And then 2014 for me has to be one of the worst seasons ever. Kimi joined Ferrari, not because of that, but because Ferrari was one of the shittiest Ferrari I've ever known. It was just like nothing what Kimi wanted, and Alonso as well was struggling. But Alonso was Alonso killed Kimi that season, to be honest, just because he liked the car more than Kimi did. I don't think it was anything to be about talent or how fast one driver is. It's just because the car suited him better than did for Kimi. So yeah, Kimi was very slow that season. A lot were saying it's because of his age, but then in 2015 he teamed up with Vettel, and 16 as well, and it's gonna be in 17. Thankfully, he teamed up with Vettel, and everyone can see how fast he is. There's nothing wrong with him, not because of his age. He is the oldest. He's currently the oldest driver on the paddock, but he's 37. But his class is just amazing. Pure talent, pure speed. I feel like in race, like in clean air, he's one of the fastest driver out there. He can compete with Vettel, Alonso, and with everyone if the car suits him. Not because I'm a Kimi fan, but just because he is. But yeah, that's how I started watching it. That's why I still watch it, and I will be watching it for a while because I just love it. I just love the sport, and I think it's it's the greatest motorsport ever, and it's just great. Next week is gonna be the finale. Not next week actually, but yeah, in 2 days. Yeah, today's Wednesday, so in 2 or 3 days, the battle between Rosberg and Lewis. I feel like Rosberg is going to win this. He's going to be taking it cautiously. He just needs to finish in the podium, so nothing Lewis can do there. But yeah, I want Nico to win this one for no particular reason, but yeah, I want him to win this one. But so yeah, guys, this was a little bit different than the other videos. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.